Good afternoon, everyone. Got a little bit of a later start today than I meant to. So, brand new video time. So I've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of DMs, a lot of messages from people asking me how maintenance is going. Am I eating differently now that I'm on maintenance as compared to during weight loss? And just how I feel. So let me start with the how's maintenance going. Okay, first of all, I don't feel like I've ever been in maintenance. Okay, so I'm gonna explain that by, I'll be right back. Give me a minute. Well, that was strange. Our CO2 monitor just decided to go completely out. It's like, okay, that was pretty wild. Nice to know that if it does make a screeching noise, I'm definitely gonna notice that. Okay, so what were we talking about? We were talking about what's it like in maintenance. And I was explaining that I don't feel like I've ever really been in maintenance. Excuse me a minute. Sorry. I feel like that every time I've ever lost weight in my life, and there's been several times my weight in my life when I've lost 100 or 100 plus pounds. This is not my first rodeo. This is not my first go around. Me and this 100 and something pounds, we know each other intimately, and we've known each other for years. Okay, so now taking that into consideration, when I've lost the weight before, I never got to float around in that pool of maintenance and see how that felt or anything, because I didn't stay there for very long. I didn't stay there long enough to even recognize that I was there. I mean, in my mind, I think I was still in the losing stage, and then I would hit a goal number or a number that felt right or whatever, and I would immediately just start eating anything and everything again. So I never really practiced maintenance. I never understood maintenance. I never have had maintenance explained to me. So the thing that I did differently this time when I was losing the weight, doing the low carb thing, is first of all, I created a new lifestyle for myself. I mean, my lifestyle, seriously, I just got done with my first meal of the day, so it's shortly after the noon hour here. And my noon hour consists of a big bowl of chopped greens. And today I had arugula, I had power greens, and extra spinach. And I chop up 6 cups of these just for me. Now I chop more, like today we had my granddaughter here and my husband, so I chopped more for them to have some too. They don't eat as many of them as I do, but still I chopped probably 10, 12 cups of them. Okay, so I have my 6 chopped down cups. I do this about a half hour to an hour before our meal because I want the phytochemicals and all the nutrients that are in those greens to become active. And when you chop your greens, you activate the chemicals that you get some of it if you don't chop them up, but you don't get it like you do if you chop them up. Okay, so I always do that before a meal, and I squirt them down with some lemon juice because you have to have the lemon juice with your greens. It helps bind the oxalates so that you won't get kidney stones. And lemon juice has its own magical properties. And trust me, you want the lemon with the greens. You just do. You do. You just got to trust me on this. So, and I have that all ready, and that's all sitting out and ready. And then I have my cooked vegetables. Today, I finish off whatever's in my fridge. If it's a new shopping trip, then I get to get a little more creative. At the end of my shopping trip, which this is the end because I need to go shopping again. So today I had some celery, I had a little piece of cabbage that was left over, and a few stalks of broccoli for my side vegetables. And then I had some cooked greens I made yesterday also on the side with my greens and my half avocado and my big, I have these big plump lemons right now. They don't hardly have any seeds. I absolutely love them. So my big plump half a lemon. So that was my meal today. And I had 4 olives because I do like my green olives. And I swap my green olives and tahini back and forth because I don't really need dressing on my greens anymore. I don't think I really ever did. I just started using lemon juice, and I was quite happy with that. And I don't know why, but I don't question it. I'm just really thankful for it. But if you do like dressings and stuff, feel free to put your dressing on over the top of your lemon juice. Be sure you get your lemon juice first. So for me, because I had created this lifestyle, I didn't feel like going into maintenance that I had to do a whole lot differently. I still have that every day for my lunch. That's still how I open my window. My window is noon to 4. Sometimes it closes at 2 because I'll end up eating something at, say, 2 o'clock. I try not to eat from noon until about 3:45. I try to go in between and let everything burn off that I ate earlier so that my stomach's ready again for that last meal of the day. But sometimes I'll end up eating at like 2 or 2:30, and I won't even eat at lunch. I'll just skip right. I'll go blow right through lunch. Maybe I'm shopping. Maybe I'm doing something. Maybe I'm cleaning something. Next thing I know, it's 2:30. I ate a big meal, and that's my only meal for the day. Usually I do get in 2, though. Okay. So I didn't really change how I was eating a whole lot. Am I eating more calories? it doesn't seem like I'm eating a whole lot more than I was when I was still losing. It seems to me like that what happened was my body got down to a certain place and went, I like it here. I'm going to hang out here. And it's just kind of hanging out there really smoothly. I'm still weighing just to track what's going on. My weight fluctuates a couple pounds up and down, back, up and down, back, up and down, down, under, back. But I'm right around the same weight. I'm right around the same place. So I'm like, this is very interesting. It just seems to be at a really happy place. But I don't feel like I went out, oh, I'm going to add back in this. I'm going to add back. I didn't do that. Now, I have said all along that I was going to add back things like, I can't add back beans because beans are very damaging to my personal body. And it makes me so sad because I love beans and lentils and all that stuff so much. I just can't eat them. They hurt me. But I do want to add back in butternut squash because I love it so much. And I got a free one recently and I chopped it all up into little squares and I froze them. So they're in little bags. I just put a little bit in each bag. I found out, I looked up how many grams was a serving and I don't remember what it was now, but I portioned my bags out a little less than what those gram servings are. And they'll be split between me and my husband. Like maybe I'll use one baggie of them and throw it into a curry. So everybody's going to get a little bit of it. I did the same with peas. I love frozen peas, but I don't want that many carbs in a single serving of anything. But peas are a really good source of protein. So I put them in half serving portion size baggies so I can just yank them out and throw them into something that will spread them out a little more. Those are just some of the little tricks that I've learned for myself and how to get those things that I really love, back into the foods. I haven't really started doing that yet because I haven't had the opportunity. Nothing has come up like that. I eat so simply these days. Besides my greens and everything I just told you about for my lunch, at dinner, I copy that mostly. Okay, so if I have 6 cups of greens, I'm not going to eat all that I just said for lunch. Like today, I ate half of the greens in my bowl. I ate half of the cooked stuff, half of the cooked greens. The other half of all that will go with my dinner later today. And the only thing I'll probably add is I'm going to make some tofu later. And I'm going to air fry it. And my favorite spices for air, I cut it into cubes. I get the really, really extra firm kind from Trader Joe's. It's the sprouted, extra firm, 0 carb first serving. I love this stuff so much. You don't even have to squeeze any water out of it. It doesn't have any water. And I cut it into cubes, and then I toss it in nutritional yeast, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and just toss it and air fry it. And they're so yummy. I love them. That's my favorite. That is my favorite way. My favorite simple way to have it is like that. So I'll probably have some of that later. And that'll be it. And I really eat that simply. And I'm really satisfied eating that simply. Sometimes I'll make up a special little sauce and I'll drizzle that over stuff. And when I have mushrooms, now if I had mushrooms, I'd be having mushrooms with my dinner too, because I'll have mushrooms every single night when I have them. When we run out, which we have a refrigerator that's really wonky, it freezes everything in the refrigerator. And we have it set higher than a normal refrigerator. And it just freezes stuff constantly. So my vegetables, I have to be so careful where I put my vegetables. And even this week, my mushrooms all froze, so they all had to be steamed at one time. My celery froze, so it all had to be steamed at one time. Some of the cabbage froze. Different things were froze. So, and when that happens, I have to cook this stuff up. And usually I have to steam it. And if we're not going to eat it all at one time, which we're pretty good about eating all the vegetables we always eat all the vegetables first, and then we go with whatever's left. But just in case, I can freeze them too after I cook them if I have to. But yeah, the refrigerator's driving me crazy because it makes it way harder for my vegetables to last longer. Like we're getting ready. I just told my husband, I said, I'm going to have to start shopping every 2 or 3 days. And thank God the store is around the corner. Literally, before my stroke, I could walk over there and back in 15 minutes. It's not that far to drive. It's like 5 minutes there, 10, 15 minutes to shop, and 5 minutes and I'm back home again. And they have a great selection of vegetables. I love that store's vegetables so much. So I'll probably be shopping more often to not get things that are going bad constantly. And I hate that thought because I hate having to go in the stores all the time. I'm the type of person I want to shop once a week or once every 2 weeks. Even makes me even happier. But when we get moved and get our new house, which we're looking for right now, I will be getting a new refrigerator. You can dang well bet on that. Okay, so one of the other questions I got, besides how I was doing on maintenance, and you guys can hear I'm doing fabulous, I'm loving it, was, in the mind and out the mind that fast. When you've had a stroke, your synapses doesn't always fire exactly the way it should. But I just had this other thing I wanted to bring up that somebody else mentioned to me. And no, I don't write things down. I probably should, but I don't. Well, it wasn't important then, right? If I can't remember, it wasn't important. That's how I feel about it. Okay, so so one of the things that I did want to bring up too, because I hear a lot of people, a lot of people bring this problem to me, and I'm not laughing at it being a problem because I get it, but they don't understand why it's not working for them after 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. And every time I say, you're making it too hard. Because first of all, I have constantly people messaging me asking, how can I low carb this? How can I recreate this and make it low carb? And it's always these really heavy duty high carb dishes that there just may not be a way to really recreate that. Like I don't care how much I like cauliflower rice, it's not rice. And I make the best cauliflower Chinese fried rice, but it's not rice. Let's just get real here, right? And those palmini noodles, those aren't noodles. Okay. And I think that when you get to a certain place doing this, or at least this is what happened to me, I recreated all that stuff in the beginning, just like everybody else does. I never did really enjoy it, but I still kept doing it. Even without enjoying it, I was determined to find a way to make it work for me, and I never did. And I don't do that as much anymore. I made some palmini stuff a couple nights ago just because I have some of them and I want to use it up. And me and the husband both were just like, and it's still in the fridge. It doesn't taste bad. We don't need the fake stuff anymore. We don't. Now I do still like the healthy noodles, but I want to have a noodle bowl, and I do like to do the noodle bowls once in a while, maybe once a month. And I like the healthy noodles because to me those taste the most like noodles. And if I'm going to have something that's like a noodle, please be like a noodle. That's all I ask of you. I think that the biggest thing about this is being consistent. I cannot stress this enough. You have to be consistent. Don't think that 1 week shows you anything. Depending on how much inflammation you have in your body, that's going to be what depends on how fast or slow this works for you. But once it picks up speed, it's crazy. Oh, it's so crazy. I was so prepared to stop losing weight towards the end of my weight loss and to lose a pound, half pound, because that's always what I remember from my past and what everybody talks about, right? And instead, my weight picked up at the end, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Now I did end up doing a fast at the very, very end of my weight loss. I did kind of an extreme fast. I fasted for 7 days. Me and my husband and some friends and stuff, because we do this once a year. It's like a health thing. So we did do that at the end, but you almost always will gain 7 to 10 pounds back in water weight and stuff. And I didn't, my husband didn't, some people did, but not everybody. So, but I still gained like 5 or 6, but I was okay with that. I was fine with that. I don't even care. I mean, because I was below what I had named as my goal weight, and I was below that. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. So when I finally did get back around to eating and broke my fast and everything happened and stuff, it put me in a really good place. But I still will say that what has gotten me to where I am today from that beginning picture, and you guys have all seen that picture when I looked over and saw myself sitting in this very chair at this very desk, and I looked and I saw that and I went, holy shit. And I took a picture. And then after I took the picture, I laid my phone down because I took it with my phone, and I laid my head down on my desk and I bawled like a baby because I had not been that big and that out of shape in so long. And when I had my stroke, I had been working at Amazon in the warehouse. I was in pretty good shape. I was still 200 pounds, but I was really buff. I was like carrying around 80-pound packages and doing all kinds of really heavy duty stuff, right? And I was getting 32,000 steps a night in this warehouse. So I walked a lot and I was just in pretty good shape, even at 200 pounds. And the next thing I knew, I was back up over 250 again because I'd had a stroke. I was in a wheelchair for months. I wasn't exercising. I couldn't move my right side, which was my dominant side. So I had to retrain my body using my left side of my body. Yeah. And when I saw that I looked like that, I was so dismayed to think that I had ever allowed myself to get back up there again, because I've been really overweight. I've been 300 something pounds. I've been really overweight several times in my life. That it was just so sad for me, the thought that I had to start all over again. And because I have always known all my life that high carb diets don't work for me, even though when I went vegan the first 6 years, I did the high carb, low fat thing. I did. And I never could get under 200 pounds that whole time. Never could get under 200 pounds. So yeah, it just didn't work for me. I knew I was going to have to go low carb. I knew I was going to have to figure out not just how to go low carb and how to lose weight doing low carb, but how to stay low carb and how to make it a lifestyle. And I knew finally, it got into my head, I knew I had to figure out how to make this a lifestyle, but I still did not know how to do that. I did not have a clue how I was going to make that happen, right? And I was really stressed about it. And the first few months, my weight was all over the place. I'd lose 20 pounds, but then I'd gain 10 of it back. Then I'd lose 10 pounds and gain 8 back. And oh my God, I was just all over the place the first few months. It was so hard to figure out. But if you look at pictures of the plates of food that I had back then when I first started, me and my husband, when we first started out compared to now, first of all, they were huge, huge heaping plates. And a lot of it was brown stuff. By brown stuff, I mean cauliflower rice made into like a brown thing. It was seitan steaks with brown gravy type, low carb gravy type things. It was, I don't know how to explain it. I would have to show you pictures, I guess. There just wasn't a lot of greenery. There was like a little broccoli and a couple Brussels sprouts and stuff, but there wasn't a whole lot of greens. I didn't go overboard in greens and vegetables in the beginning. If anything, I veered away from them because I counted the carbs. I was making this low carb, 1 carb bread. It was like one carb for the whole thing. You could cut it in half and have 2 pieces. It looked like a little English muffin. So I have the 2 pieces of that all toasted on my plate, and then a big serving of seitan or a Beyond Burger or something, and then something else over here that was kind of a brownish color, like maybe fried cauliflower, right? It's just, if you look at those plates and then you look at my plates now, which is a pile of healthy, glistening greens, and chopped up other greens and cooked green vegetables, and it's just all around it. And sometimes a little pile of tofu sitting there and some little mushrooms cooked up around it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's satisfying. So satisfying. It is so satisfying, and it's so healthy. My blood work is so perfect. My doctor is so shocked at my blood work. Every time she sees me, she's like, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Of course, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because it's doing me amazing. So consistency is the key. I never wavered. When I say that I eat, no matter what, my minimum every single day is 6 cups of chopped greens. I can chop mine all the way down to 1.5 cups to 2 cups with a half of a lemon juice all over that, with a half of an avocado or some green olives or some tahini. Those are usually my 3 choices for my fats, for my healthy fats. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be avocado. I usually always have that, but I do run out occasionally. But I say that I have that minimum every single day. That's what I'm talking about. My girl, let me tell you a little short story real quick. So a friend of mine came over a few days ago, and she said, we're standing in the kitchen because it's about 11:30, and I'm chopping up some greens and stuff really fast, getting everything ready, right? And she's watching me do all this. I've got the lemon cut, and I'm squirting lemon juice on them, and I've got my avocado pulled out, and I've got my cooked vegetables that were already pre-cooked. I've got them in bowls, and I've just got them sitting there with the lids off, getting ready so they can be preheated one at a time in the microwave. And she's standing here and she's like, I just don't understand how you've done it. I just wish I had a roadmap or something. I just wish you could show me. I picked up my camera and I took a picture and sent it to her right there in a text. And she answers the text as she's still talking. She goes, what? Oh. I said, I have showed you in person over and over and over and over. Every time you come over here, you see me doing this exact same thing. I walk the walk that I talk. Every single day. No matter what, I get the greens, I get the lemon juice, and I get my healthy fats in. No matter what. And that has been the biggest game changer for me, is that consistency. And that consistency led to consistency in all the other areas. And then everything got so tight and was working so well, and it was doing me so mentally well and so physically well and so mood altering well, and everything got so much better that why would I not want to be consistent now? Right? Okay, guys, I don't know how long I've been on here, but it feels like it's been a long time. Let me see. I need glasses. But I'm going to get off here and go spend some time with my granddaughter and my husband. I think we're watching a movie, and it looked like, for some reason, it looked like they had picked Wizard of Oz. That can't be. Right?